Public blockchains such as Ethereum and Bitcoin were not designed for the world of stablecoin finance. They face three main challenges. First, gas fees are unpredictable because they rely on volatile native tokens. Second, transactions settle slowly and sometimes only with probabilistic finality. Third, they lack built-in privacy and compliance features. Enterprises highlight the same issues. What I'm often hearing is that they need predictable fees, their treasury cannot hold volatile crypto for gas, they cannot move sensitive payment data on public rails. Liquidity is another obstacle. Stablecoins today sit fragmented across many chains. Moving them requires complex bridges and coordination. In short, existing level 1 blockchains create settlement risk and high costs. These conditions are at odds with the requirements of a regulated financial system. In this video, you will learn what stablecoins need to become adopted by financial markets, what will have to change in terms of fees, finality and settlements primitives. How do Stellar and new blockchain like ARK and Google's Universal Ledger address these requirements? And finally, which chain is the best for new stablecoin projects in 2025 and beyond? For stablecoin rails to serve institutional finance, they need to behave more like existing financial infrastructure. Companies expect fees that are both low and predictable, ideally denominated in fiat or a fiat-backed token. Volatile gas prices common on public chains simply will not work for treasuries that must budget costs in advance. Equally important is finality. Settlements should close in seconds and with complete certainty, leaving no risk of chain reorganization. This is how traditional real-time gross settlement systems operate. Stellar, for instance, finalizes ledgers every 5 seconds, while ARK is pushing toward sub-second confirmation. But speed alone is not enough. Markets require atomic settlement across currencies and assets. This makes it possible to synchronize exchanges, for example, a stablecoin for a stablecoin FX trade or a securities for cash swap, without exposing either side to counterparty risk. Stellar already supports atomic path payments, while ARK is building a native FX engine to extend that model. A universal ledger could take it further by enabling atomic swaps across bonds, funds, and other tokenized assets. The platform also has to run at scale and around the clock. Financial markets don't pause, and global demand means thousands of transactions per second, with near-perfect uptime. Stellar already clears over 1,000 transactions per second. ARK has demonstrated 3,000 to 10,000, and Google's Universal Ledger aims even higher, with enterprise scale of transaction volumes. Finally, institutions require compliance controls to be built in. KYC, AML, audits, and privacy are not optional add-ons. Native tools for privacy, opt-in shielding, and governance are needed. Solutions may use permissioned validators or anchored trust sets to ensure compliance. Permissioning frameworks such as Stellar's quorum slices, native tools for privacy and governance are needed. Solutions may use permissioned validators or anchored trust sets to ensure compliance. Permissioning frameworks such as Stellar's quorum slices or the fully permissioned models used by ARK and GCUL show that trusted validators can enforce governance and regulatory standards. Altogether, this translates to rails where fees are known in advance, final settlement is immediate, and the system supports atomic transactions. Several platforms are already pushing these requirements, each in a different way. The leading examples are Stellar, ARK, and Google Cloud's Universal Ledger. Stellar has long been optimized for payments and assets issuance. Its consensus model, the Stellar Consensus Protocol, uses a federated Byzantine design where nodes trust quorums of peers. By design, once a ledger closes, it is final, with no forks. New ledgers close every 5 to 6 seconds, which gives near-instant finality. Fees are tiny, usually fractions of a cent, which makes Stellar viable even for micropayments. On Stellar, stablecoins can be issued by trusted anchors and managed with built-in trust lines. The network also includes decentralized exchange, so users can trade assets directly on the ledger. For example, a US dollar stablecoin could be sent and received as a euro in a single atomic transaction. What's also important is that finality is set when an issuer names a validator. From then on, there's no doubt about ownership. Compared with newer platforms like ARK or Google Cloud's Universal Ledger, Stellar's strength lies in its openness, maturity, and very low operating costs. Its trade-off is that it lacks some of the institutional features. such as built-in privacy or permission governance, which we'll talk about in a second. Throughput reaches about 1,000 transactions per second, which is lower than some newer Layer 1 designs. ARK, by contrast, is a new Layer 1 blockchain being built by Circle, with stablecoin finance as its core purpose. Circle took 3 design decisions to address institutional needs. It uses USDC as a new native gas token to eliminate fee volatility. It runs on a high-performance BFT consensus that promises sub-second finality, and it offers opt-in privacy features. The August 2025 white paper highlights this as its main innovations. ARK is designed for enterprise throughput, claiming thousands of transactions per second and final settlement in under half a second. It integrates a built-in FX engine for institutional payment versus payment trades, and, being EVM compatible, it lets Ethereum contracts run with fees paid in USDC. Circle also retains control over the validator set to satisfy compliance. The drawbacks are its youth and governance model. So far, it is only on testnet. Validators are controlled by Circle, and its reliance on USDC links it closely to one issuer. Unlike Stellar, it lacks a long track record or broad network effects. Google Cloud's Universal Ledger takes yet another approach. It is not a public blockchain, but a permissioned distributed ledger, aimed at banks and enterprises. GCUL focuses on predictable rates, fast atomic transactions with fees that are fixed or invoiced monthly. It supports multi-asset issuance and atomic settlement across payments, currency exchanges, and securities for cash trades, closely reflecting capital market needs. Unlike Stellar or ARK, GCUL is private and fully permissioned, requiring KYC-verified accounts. It is packaged as a cloud service with a single API. The appeal for banks is clear: near-zero reconciliation, predictable performance, and unified ledger for both stablecoins and tokenized deposits. For regulated finance, these are powerful advantages. Yet, the trade-offs are clear. GCUL is private, controlled by institutions, and dependent on Google's infrastructure. That introduces vendor risk and reduces openness. Innovation may also move at a slower pace. That introduces vendor risk and reduces openness. Innovation may also move at a slower pace, given the need for regulatory coordination. When choosing a rail for a new stablecoin, the technology must address both the needs of target users and the regulatory requirements. For decentralized, broad access stablecoins, Stellar is often the strongest option. It offers proven, low-cost settlement, fast finality, and a built-in ecosystem for cross-currency flows. For enterprise or regulated issuers, especially with dollar or euro-backed stablecoins, ARK presents an attractive path. Its design eliminates fee volatility, guarantees instant finality, and aligns governance with issuer needs. I recently noted on LinkedIn that ARK itself was conceived to address the enterprise concerns that public chains could not meet. For projects linked to banking consortia or aiming to replace correspondent banking, permissioned platforms like chains from Circle and Google may be the most suitable option. Concepts like Google's Universal Ledger or initiatives like Perture unlock atomic settlement of tokens pegged to fiat. There isn't one rail that fits every project. Ultimately, fintech funders should align their choice with their use cases. Broad fintech projects may find ARK or similar stablecoin-focused Layer 1s the most compelling. Issuers seeking maximum openness and interoperability should look into Stellar. Projects that integrate closely with banks or national infrastructure may lean toward permissioned unified ledgers, such as Google's Universal Ledger. In many cases, combining dedicated stablecoin rails with existing ecosystems such as Ethereum or Cosmos might offer the best balance. Thanks for watching. Remember to stay on the block to stay ahead.